only mean one thing. Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, the American Wolves are here in the Airco Arena for arguably the most important NGW Tag Team title match ever. When I tell you what I'm about to, I know this will sound like some kind of hype for a match, but I swear as we walked out of the Airco Arena and looked into the sky, it was a full moon tonight in Hull. Is that an omen for the London Riots as they defend the NGW Tag Team titles against one of the best tag teams in the world today? Multiple-time Ring of Honor Tag Team champions, multiple-time TNA Tag Team champions, and they're here in New Generation Wrestling tonight to add the NGW titles to their huge list of gold. If I was a London Riots, I'd be worried about now. Well, as popular as the American Wolves are in Hull, the London Riots are the polar opposites. They made their first appearance for NGW in this very building, attacking then tag team champions, the biggest tag team in NGW history, Styx and Colossus, later to go on to win those belts, making Colossus tap to the surprise of everyone. But this is a whole different ball game. Everything about the London Riots seems to be unpopular with the crowds that they wrestle for, particularly in the north of England. You know, Rob Lynch, James Davis, two guys with a bad attitude. The music they use when they come to the ring, their dress, their general demeanour seems to rub up everybody in NGW the wrong way. And tonight you can bet that this crowd will be firmly behind one of the best tag teams to be produced in the United States for at least the last 5 or 10 years. Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, the American Wolves. The question on everybody's lips is, even though the Riots have beaten Styx and Colossus, do they have what it takes to beat these two men coming over from TNA in America? And I've got to tell you, as far as I'm concerned, the jury is out. Arguably the biggest, toughest competition these guys have faced in that squared circle. Richards and Edwards look ready, as do the Riots. You know, the Riots don't look like your typical, I guess you get, if you went back to the 80s, maybe they look like your typical wrestlers from then, rugged, tough-looking individuals, whereas Richards and Edwards are the consummate athletes. Both Richards and Edwards have been Ring of Honor singles champions, heavyweight champions there. In fact, Richards beat Edwards for the Ring of Honor title before these guys formed the tag team, the American Wolves. 1 gold in Ring of Honor, 1 gold in TNA. I said it earlier, but it's those belts right there that this match is all about. The most important tag team gold in British professional wrestling today, the NGW tag team titles. And you can bet that all 4 men in this ring know it. Referee Johnson there is going to have to get 1 of each team to get to the outside of the ring. And it looks like Rob Lynch is the first to go, but not because he wants a clean fight, but just because he's getting the crowd here in the Airco Arena riled up. It doesn't take much, because Rob Lynch just has that abrasive, aggressive personality that the crowd here in NGW seem to despise. And it looks like it will be Lynch and Richards, sorry. Richards really done phenomenally well over the last 10 years in pro wrestling as a singles competitor. but his tag team with Edwards is a league all on its own. Right there, Rob Lynch gets the strength advantage nod. You know, actually I would say that if it came to muscular strength, it would go to Richards. But in that sort of collar and elbow type situation, it's a combination 50-50 between strength and leverage. And Lynch slightly taller than Richards by about 6-7 inches, and he used that leverage there. And Richards now going to change the strategy, and you see he's using his thighs there, coming down like a squat, and it's got the advantage. And again, Lynch using the leverage, leaning back, pushing in. Leverage and balance so important in pro wrestling. A bit like boxing, everybody thinks it's down to the punching, but it's very much down to the footwork as well. And wrestling is very much about balance and leverage just as much as it is brute force and strength. And Richards looking to regroup here. Maybe going to use a different strategy to get the upper hand on the biggest man in the match, Rob Lynch. Don't know how many sit-ups Lynch can do, but I'm sure if it was a fighting contest, he would be the guy that did the best in this contest. But now, the kicks are laying in, trademark kicks there from Davey Richards. Big whip into the corner, and Lynch straight back out, man. This guy is a tank. You don't want to get kicked by Richards, but you do not want to have Rob Lynch run through you like a freight train. He's just so big and so burly, and he comes out with those hard shots from the clotheslines, everything. You've just got to make sure that you can take this guy down and wrestle him, which may be the strategy here now going to be applied by Richards, who's gone out and regrouped. This crowd here in the Airco Arena hold firmly behind the American Wolves. Very rarely do you see the home favourites, at least domestically in the country of England, get a less favourable response than the overseas imports. But the Wolves have done so well as a tag team, getting their first chance to feel out the rights here. And you see that tight side headlock there by Rob Lynch. Butcher's hook, check out the grip there, making sure that it's very difficult for Richards to get out of. Richards has already had a taste of British heavyweight wrestling gold, winning the Future Shock title against Jack Gallagher, and some nice double teamwork there. Big knee there as Richards and Edwards now have the upper hand. As I was saying, the Davey Richards match of the year back in, I think, 2009, in his match against Jack Gallagher, winning the Future Shock title, so he's no stranger to winning British belts, but never won a British tag team title before. And this is the tag team offense that the Wolves are going to have to employ. Fast tags, in and out, wearing the big man down, and that's exactly what they're doing. Richards up to the top, double foot stomp on the arm, and I tell you, so dangerous there. It only takes 14 pounds of pressure to pop a joint, and as you see on this replay here, double foot stomp, run it down on the elbow joint, and that could break your arm if you're not careful. And you can see Davis tells that and gets in there quick with that European uppercut. Straight there onto Richards. Richards tagging out quickly, or actually using his head and the tag. Man, it's getting fast in there. And that's going to have to be the strategy employed here by the Wolves. Fast tags to the high drop kick there. Edwards, a tremendous high flyer in his own right. I don't mean big flips, or it's just the height and the leverage he can get on his jumps, man. He can jump high and turn his body positioning in midair so smoothly with those drop kicks. Big hip toss there. And fast tag, man. If it comes to tag team proficiency, I have to give, if it went on points, I'd have to give it to the Wolves so far. Whoa, big flying forearm there. Big flying back elbow. Drop toe hold and big elbow, man. These guys are just all over the Wyatts, and if I was the Wyatts, I'd do whatever I could to get out of the ring and regroup fast. On his jumps, man, he can jump high and turn his body positioning in midair so smoothly with those drop kicks. Big hip toss there. And fast tag, man. If it comes to tag team proficiency, I have to give, if it went on points, I'd have to give it to the Wolves so far. Whoa, big flying forearm there. Big flying back elbow. drop toe hold and big elbow. Man, these guys are just all over the Wyatts, and if I was the Wyatts, I'd do whatever I could to get out of the ring and regroup fast, because you don't want to mix up tag team, I guess, innovation with the American Wolves, because there's very few in the tag team industry worldwide that are as good as these two, and Davis knows it, reaching for the tag, and he is on the wrong side of town there, not even halfway across the ring, and the Wolves are cutting this ring in half. Wow, sort of sharpshooter of sorts, but from a ground position, really putting the pressure. Look at the arch of the back there. And I tell you what, I can guarantee that Davis and Lynch are not yoga practitioners. Bar fights, perhaps. Some other things that I probably wouldn't want to say on the air, but I don't think that they've been doing the DDP yoga. So those submissions that stretch you out and moves, yeah, there you go, straight back to the brawling. And that's what they're going to have to do. That's their sort of strong suit, is the brawling, the roughhouse tactics. And that's the only way I can see them winning this one, because the Wolves are tag team specialists. Throwbacks to the greats like the Rockers and the Hart Foundation. As Lynch gets the tag. Even the way he tags his partner is quite roughhouse. And Edwards there, fighting back out. And what's the... Whoa! Double shoulder tackle. Big hard knockdown there, and Lynch. You see this again on our replay. Even the big shoulder tackle coming from man as round and as I'm trying to double teaming here, and now actually I'm impressed, because very rarely do we see, when we see the Wyatts cheat, normally we see them cheat in a way that's more about using objects that shouldn't be in a wrestling match or raking the eyes, but actually quite smart psychological tag team in there. You see one of them clap their hands behind the ref's back, making the ref think he'd heard a tag and there wasn't one. Shades of the Brain Busters there, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, two of the greats of tag team wrestling. And that's the advantage. While British wrestling was resting from the television off our screen since 1988, when World of Sport sort of came to an end, the current generation, the new generation of British wrestlers have been learning from the best in from the US scene, from the Japanese scene. And that's why you see an advantage with people like the Wyatts, because they can scout teams like the American Wolves. They get to see them every week on Challenge, on TNA, so they know exactly what to expect. Whereas this is disadvantage for the American Wolves, because they probably have very little knowledge of the Wyatts unless they've done their homework and studied up. Suplex attempt here by Davis, but Edwards blocks it and reverses it, and he needs to make a tag here in the worst way imaginable. He's crawling for it now, and can he make it? This crowd in the Airco Arena hole want to see it. They want to see Eddie make that tag, but James Davis is not going to let it happen. Elbow drop there, across the shoulders and the back of the ribs there, and a side chancery there by James Davis. A bit of textbook British wrestling, not something I'd expect to see here, but you see Richards trying to fire up his tag team partner, calling for the tag, begging for the tag, because he knows the only chance these guys have of winning those belts is to make it, and he almost did. And again, close but no cigar as Rob Lynch makes the tag here. And look at that big size 12 boot right in the face there of Edwards. You have a 5 count there, and again the illegal assist there from James Davis behind the referee's back. And Davey Richards not doing his tag team partner any favours here. It's that double-edged sword between frustration and patience. And those two are never good bedfellows, particularly when you're in the ring with the NGW Tag Team Champions, the London Wyatts. This crowd again calling for that tag. They do not like the Wyatts. These two won those NGW Tag Team titles from Styx and Colossus, two favourites here, so you can bet they want to see them lose. And oh, double Hurricane Rana knocks both men off their feet. It looked like Rob Lynch tried to fight against it and just lost balance, and this could be the changing point in the match. Can he? He does! David Davey Richards in. Big clothesline. Second clothesline. Knocking both men down. Chop to the throat there, and Davis whips him off. Reverse. Handspring comes back with a huge roundhouse kick. Davey Richards throws Rob Lynch. I've never seen that man manhandled like that before. Richards goes huge, big kick in the corner. Man, how on fire is Davey Richards here tonight? Goes to the top rope and massive double-footed European-style drop kick from the heavens. 2-0. Oh, kicks out there. Man, look at this. Huge big drop kick there. And Richards now calling for something, and Rob Lynch with a trip. Man, I'd almost forgot Lynch was there, and I think so did Richards, but Lynch and Davis don't count these guys out because they are showing very good tag team proficiency here. And now they're going for a double suplex, but watch out behind them because Eddie Edwards is there to reverse it. Awesome tag team in there. What's going on? Oh! Man! James Davis accidentally DDT'd his own partner. I'm losing what's going on here, but Richards, huge big kick to the face. This could be all. This could be all and all. Man, huge big kick to the face. I've seen Richards and Edwards put people away with that. And you've got to believe that James Davis is dazed and confused as Davey Richards calls to go for the top rope once again. He is so dangerous. We've seen that double foot stomp earlier. Can he do it? Goes for it. Lands on his feet and rolls through. Davis goes for something. Jockeying for position here. Goes for a roll-up and Richards holds on there. They're going for some tag team. Oh! Huge enziguri. German suplex and a roll through. Look at that. 2, that's got me. Oh! Man, I thought the American Wolves had temporarily lost their way there, but they hadn't. These guys are tag team specialists of the highest order, and James Davis does not know where he is. Lightly concussed from that huge kick to the face, and this could be the end. Both the Wolves howling on the top, and Rob Lynch there. Oh, man, sends Davey Richards. Guillotine assaults to the top, jockeying for position again, going for that German suplex, it looks like. Goes for a roll-up, and he's got a roll-up there, ref in position. Huge belt shot, 2 and no! Oh man, the London Riots here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, and still New Generation Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the London Riots.
Man, I almost lost my voice in that one. That towards the end, the London Riots just back and forth there with the Wolves. We see in the replay here that illegal belt shot there and a roll-up, and Davis had the tights as well. I never even saw that from my vantage point. It was so fast. Man, the Wolves threw everything, including the kitchen sink. But it was that belt shot there and the illegal tight pull there by James Davis that allowed James Davis and Rob Lynch, the London Riots, to walk out of the Airco Arena in Hull with their most decisive NGW Tag Team title defense to date. Man, who would have believed it? I'm sure I didn't. I mean, in fact, I know I didn't. I was very much on the fence. But this crowd in Hull are stunned. The Riots have beaten the Wolves here tonight.